Hello knockouts, Tonya TKO here. And as you know, I am a self-love specialist from TonyaTko.com. I hope you learn how to love yourselves and one another. On this channel, we use viral video topics as teachable moments in our own lives for dating, relationships, and self-love. Today, we're going to be doing a reaction and review to the video of a stylist who had a young lady, a little girl inside of her chair, and they were doing a live video, and the little girl turned to the camera and said, "I'm so ugly." And then what ensued after that, that's what we're going to be reacting to. I have seen this video already. I don't want to do this video because unlike many other people, I'm not enthused about this video. I actually, the first time I saw it, I didn't like the video. You know, I understood what the woman was attempting to do, but the reason why I'm doing this video is because there's so many of you who are writing to me privately asking me to do this video, and I feel like I must at this point. Today I was contacted by a single father who says that he's raising young ladies, little girls, and he wanted my take on it because he wanted some insights, some tips on how to navigate through helping his daughters learn to love themselves. So I'm doing this video because I do want to educate, because you know what, I'm sorry, but it's like people want your opinion and they want your point of view as long as you agree with them. But if you have a different point of view, then all of this fighting ensues. And I really don't want, I don't want to fight. Listen, if you're feeling sensitive about hearing other people's points of view, please, you can exit the video because I'm going to give my take on it. I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist. I'm also a trained life coach. The reason why I talk about hypnotherapy is because I know how to implant an idea. And children are very susceptible to the ideas that we implant. And we talk about orbitals on this channel, which are RBTL, reading between the lines. And far too often, we as adults, we talk at children instead of talking to them. And children are very susceptible to what it is that we're projecting onto them. And what it is that I see is I see a lot of us projecting our own stuff onto this little girl and in this situation. And I see a lot of my favorite YouTubers in love with this video. And I don't want to speak out and give a contrary point of view. But like I said, today, final straw, I was contacted by a single father, and I feel that I have information which may benefit people. So tread lightly, because this is my point of view as a trained professional, all right? And I'm hoping that this video will give you some insight into things that you may be able to do differently, because this dresser tried, and people love it because they love it from the space that they're at. And she gave this dialogue from the space that she's at. I'm giving this from the place that I am at. Okay, so we'll jump into it. We'll jump into it. Okay, let's go.
For real, like, I'm not even playing with you. I don't even like kids.
I'm so ugly.
Oh. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. You are so pretty. You all, shut up. Go in the room. When you look at yourself, you supposed to say, "I'm so pretty." You are so pretty. Do you hear me? You got the prettiest little dimples. You are too cute. Oh. No, you gonna make me cry. You're not ugly. Baby girl. Oh my God. Ariana. You're not ugly. Baby girl. You are so pretty. You are like, you have this beautiful chocolate skin. Like, you are just so gorgeous. You got these dimples. Remember what I told you? How many people got 2 dimples? Nobody. You got 2. Let me see you smile. Let me see. You got dimples. I don't even have 2 dimples. Girl, let me see your teeth. Look at them pretty white teeth. No, you're not going to cry. You are a beautiful little girl, and you are pretty. You are the prettiest girl in your class. Boom. Tell them straight up. When you go to school tomorrow, you got your hair done. You're going to be like, oh, look at my hair. Oh, look at my shoes. Look at my clothes, baby girl. You are beautiful. Black is beautiful. And if don't nobody ever tell you, I will tell you, you are gorgeous. You are so pretty. And you're going to grow up and you're going to be everything that you can be. You're going to be the greatest nail tech, the greatest beautician, the greatest lawyer, the greatest doctor, the greatest teacher, whatever you want to be, the greatest speaker, the greatest entrepreneur, whatever. What you want to be? What you want to be when you get older?
The teacher.
You want to be... your teacher mean to you? So guess what? When you become a teacher, you don't be mean. You be a nice teacher. You gonna be Miss Cotton. That's what they gonna call you. Miss Cotton. You gotta be happy all the time because you're a little kid. You only 4 and you should not know nothing about being ugly because you are so beautiful. You hold your head up. You hold your head up. Okay? Okay? Can I have a hug? I love you. And you're so pretty. You got a beautiful heart and you just have some good manners. Come on, let's finish your hair, girl. Come on, we ain't got no choice. We ready to get out this chair. Come on. Girl, you just almost made me cry on live. Turn this way. Girl, you just almost made me cry, Ariana. You can't be doing stuff like that. You gotta warn me. Baby, you just said that like a grown woman that's going through things. Woo. God, in the name of Jesus. Girl, you are so pretty. I can't believe you just said that, Ariana. You just made me mad. You just made me so mad. I can't believe your pretty self just said that. As big as your smile is, and as pretty as them dimples is, you gonna call yourself ugly. Girl, I should whoop your little butt.
I don't think it's funny.
You are too pretty. You talk like you got manners. You know how to have a
All right. Okay. Okay. All right, now let's jump into it. First of all, thank you. Thank you to everyone who's come to my channel. If this is your first time here, make sure that you thumbs up, like, share with a loved one, leave your comment below and your feedback. Here on this channel, I encourage you, if there's something that I say or anybody else says that you don't agree with, attack the argument, not the person. Let's dive in. Okay. Far too often, we as adults, we talk at children. We don't talk to them. And what I saw in this video was a lot of talking at this child, projecting how it is that she feels about the attributes that she feels a certain way about. The number one question which is left unasked is, why does she feel that she's ugly? Why? She's telling her all of these things about what she's not supposed to do, what she's not supposed to say. Don't do this. Like, she immediately begins scolding the child. Don't say that. And then look, oh, you know what? Oh, let's jump to the very first few seconds of the clip. The clip opens with her saying, I don't even like kids.
For real, like, I'm not even playing with you. I don't even like kids.
And then you hear a child in the background speak, right? And what happens when a child in the background speaks? What does the hairstylist say? She says, shut up. Go to your room.
You all, right? Shut up. Go to the room.
When I say that we talk at children instead of talking to them, we don't know why this little girl feels that she's ugly. Perhaps she feels that she's ugly because people speak to her in certain types of ways. Perhaps she feels she's ugly because there's somebody telling her to shut up or hollering at her. We don't know. And if we don't ask, we really can't find out. And any moment that exists without us asking, because I notice in my videos when I'm doing interviews, I ask and I ask and I ask. I do not assume to know what somebody else means. This is what being trained as a life coach does to a person. And there's some people in my audience that are like, oh, Tonya, you ask silly questions because you should already know, you should know that answer. You know what they mean. And I'm like, no, never assume that you know what anybody means. Because in any conversation, you see, words are fallible. Words mean different things to different people. The child said ugly. We don't know if she meant physically. We don't know if she meant that the very hairstyle that they were putting on her is what she feels makes her ugly. As you see, when it was time for her to get back in the chair, she was like, I don't want to get back in the chair. And the woman was like, we ain't got no choice. Sit down here, right? Let me go through my notes because I want to stay on par, right? So she starts telling the girl, don't say that, right? She's like, you're supposed to always be happy.
You got to be happy all the time.
That is so toxic and so harmful, what we do to our little girls, where we impose upon them that they're always supposed to be happy. And then we grow up into these adult existences not really knowing and understanding how to deal with our emotions, because somewhere along the lines we were taught that we were supposed to always be happy, we were supposed to always have a smile on our face, we were supposed to always have XYZ type of emotions, that these emotions are good and those emotions are bad. So don't show those emotions, don't say those things, only do these things, but it never really addresses the issues that exist on the inside. I want you all to answer this question. When the little girl sat back down in the chair and looked at the camera, what did her face look like? Did it look like the girl, did her expression change? Did she look like she had relief? Did she seem as if she was happier? Did she seem as if she got something off of her chest and now she has a greater sense of self-worth and self-love? Did she? The one thing, because I was looking at the end when she got back into the chair, I was looking for a smile. I saw no smile. See, children, they don't hold punches, but what we do is we do things like this to them, and then we impose upon them, and then they learn to contort themselves for us. If you notice at the very end, she was like, you almost made me cry. She then made it about her. You almost made me cry. Don't do that. You can't do that. You just made me mad. I should whoop your butt. So this little girl is internalizing all of this because she's young and she's taking it all in. And so she's like, oh, I can't really say what it is that I feel. The little girl said that because obviously the idea got in there somehow. We don't know where the idea came from. We don't know if it came from school. We don't know. So the hairstylist posted this and said that the little girl comes from a very loving family, etc. But we don't know the ins and outs of what's going on inside of this young girl's psyche that is making her say these things. Most of you are coming to me and telling me that the little girl feels this way because she's dark-skinned. We don't know that. We really don't know that. This is our projection as adults because of what it is that we've gone through or been through. And then when we start advising her from that place, we start then implanting the idea that something is going on with dark skin because she may not have had the idea before. That's the importance of asking the question. What is it that makes you feel that way? Because listen, somebody has to be the composed one. Somebody has to be the one that is in charge and in control. Somebody has to be the one that holds space. And what I see in this situation is an adult talking at a child. And then putting the child in the position to be responsible for that adult's emotions. You just almost made me cry. You just made me mad. All about her. So now this child has to navigate. How do I talk and contort so that I don't make other people mad with my true feelings and my true emotions? Let me hold this in. Meanwhile, growing up, getting keys and razors and shanks and cutting themselves at night. Come on. Listen, we have got to allow children, we've got to allow little girls to express and emote, and we've got to hold space for them. We've got to hold space and find out what's going on inside of their inner hearts and inside of their inner beings and listen to them. Because remember how I said in the beginning of this video, people want to hear your opinion as long as your opinion doesn't conflict with theirs. So it's like, yeah, you want to pump up the child. You want to say all of this, that this is that. You want to say this, all this, that, and the other to the child about how she's beautiful and all this other stuff, right? But if the girl says, listen, it's this hairstyle, then all of a sudden, then no, we can't do nothing about that, girls. Get in this chair. This hairstyle is what you're going to get. It's like, when do we take the time to listen? And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with the hairstyle. What I'm saying is that this child has not expressed what it is that's getting under her skin, who it is that's been getting under her skin. And for those people who are going to be like, yeah, the woman says she came from a loving family. That's cool. You know how many people have been in abusive relationships where people are like, oh, but she has such a loving spouse. Nobody really knows from the outside. Nobody knows from the outside what's really going on behind closed doors. Because how many of you out there could pinpoint who is an abusive husband? Or an abusive wife behind closed doors. And I can tell you, you really can't tell, because it's always the charming, wonderful people. Like they said, Satan was the most beautiful angel that descended from the heavens and with a song voice and all this other stuff. So it's like, we get confused by what it is that we see on the outside inside people's relationships. Meanwhile, we don't dive deep. But let's go on. So she starts saying, nobody got two dimples? She starts saying things to the child. As evidence of her beauty, she begins saying things to the child, things that are surface, superficial, and temporary. Things that can go away. She starts going on, you got two dimples, you got these white teeth. Then she starts telling the girl, you're the prettiest in your class. Then she's like, you can have your hair done, your shoes and your clothes, and you're going to be like, oh, I'm the prettiest and this and the other. But really, it's like we really don't get to the underlying issue. This is an amazing opportunity for us to have a discussion about African heritage and the African pheno and genotype. This is an amazing time to talk about where we've come from and why people have a certain perspective in this country. Children are able to process very sophisticated ideas because children, they come into this world as a blank slate. They're blank. And they have to be able to navigate. This is what I'm saying, like a sponge. They have to be able to navigate the family dynamic. Who's the one that's in charge? Who's the person that I can align with? Who's my underling? Who's my peer? Who's my superior? And they do all of this very quickly and very rapidly. Children have to be able to watch and know body language, tonation of the voice, inference, because children come into this world not understanding the language. But they have to be able to get it and pick it up very quickly. Children can understand very sophisticated ideas. This is an excellent opportunity to be able to place upon this child, to infuse her with the things about her, the true things about who she really is, that will not change with time. That part of her that is really beautiful. Right now, listen, I didn't completely dislike the video. She did some amazing things in the video. She hugged the girl. She held her when the girl was crying. She told her about the amazing things that she can be when she grows up. And as you see, because this person is a hairdresser, she came from, oh, you're going to be the best nail tech. You're going to be the best. And she comes from the service industry thing. And then afterwards, she's like, oh, lawyer, doctor. And then she asked the child, what is it that you want to be? And then the child speaks up. And then she starts talking about, oh, is your teacher mean? And this, that, and the other. But my whole point is dialogue is needed. It's more than just speaking words at a child, talking about how you're beautiful because of the standards that I hold with white teeth and dimples and this, that, and the other, right? Meanwhile, maybe the child just wants to be spoken to with love, care, and affection. Maybe the child doesn't want to be told, shut up, go to your room. Maybe the child doesn't want to be forced to wear a hairstyle she doesn't resonate with or doesn't want to wear. Maybe the child wants to be heard. Maybe the child wants to have her voice and speak. Maybe we don't know what is imposing and impounding upon that child, which is making the child feel that she has less worth or that she is not good looking. We don't know. Far too often, we adults don't really take into account just how powerful our words and our behaviors towards children are at impacting their feeling of self-worth. Right now I'm reading Toni Morrison's book, The Bluest Eye. I'm at the very beginning of the book, and the mother is like, she's just fussing at the kids, and the main character is talking about how much that fussing makes her hate herself. And it reminds me of how sometimes we just really don't know. It's like, we come from a culture where we fuss, and that's the way that we show love, and our grandmothers showed love by fussing, and our mothers showed love by fussing. But it's like we forget what it was like to be in that little person, and to feel like there's nothing that you can do right, to feel like you're a burden, to feel like you're bad, to even be told that you're bad. And it's like we're really good at, but when all of it comes crashing down, we're like, why do you feel this way? How could you? How could you? Don't feel this way. But in the day-to-day, do we respect our little ones' feelings? Do we respect their word? Do we treat them like a human being? Do we talk to them? Look, the way she says, shut up, get back in that room, you speak to animals that way. Or some people don't even speak to their animals that way. And it's like, we have this conflicted, bifracted point of view where we're like, it's okay if we beat and whoop our kids because I love them. But then we go out there and we're like, don't let nobody beat and whoop on you or talk to you like that, but you talk to them like that. It's like, don't say that you don't have worth, but then you treat them like they don't have worth. So it's like, okay, so it's wonderful. We can hold a person's face and say, hold your head up. But then in the same breath say, I don't really even like children. Shut up. Go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we as adults, we have to look at ourselves and see how this is being internalized into the people around us, into the little ones around us. And the hairdresser said some great things. She talked about her having a beautiful heart and good manners and these types of things. Wonderful. One of the mistakes that many of us make is that we align ourselves and our worth with things about us that are fleeting, temporary, and can pass with time or go away. Dimples can go away. Teeth can fall out. But what are the things about your particular little human that you have in your home which is unique and beautiful about them, regardless of what exists on the outside? So what if she gets a gash across her face, a gash through those dimples? Then what is she no longer beautiful? If she gets burned, is she no longer beautiful? If she gets vitiligo and she doesn't have clear chocolatey skin, is she no longer beautiful? So this is why we have to really implant in our children the worth that exists outside of what is temporary and fleeting. And also talking to our children and rationalizing, philosophizing with them, and helping them to listen, because nobody likes to be told what to do. When you have a conversation with a person, if you're able to rationalize with them in such a way that they come up with the idea, that you ask, well, what is it that makes you feel that you're ugly? Where did you hear this? And then you can then begin to disprove and ask questions. Does that mean that a person, have you ever seen a beautiful person with XYZ? So let's say the child says it's her hair. All right. So have you ever seen a beautiful person with this type of hair? What is it about this type of hair that you feel makes you ugly? What is it about being spoken to in a certain way that you feel makes you ugly? It's like we have to hold space. This is what holding space is about, the other person. It's not about you. It's not about you projecting how they shouldn't do this, and then you feel this way and you're going to cry and you were mad and whoop this, that. No, holding space is a gracious gift that you give another person to be completely them. I walked away from this video in my spirit feeling that this child feels that there is something wrong with coming forward and expressing herself honestly with the way that is that she was feeling. I want to hear your thoughts about that. I'm going to play one more video for us where the little girl comes back out and she does a follow-up, right? I want to play that for you all. Here we go.
I'm black and blue. Thank you, everyone. I'm black and beautiful. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm happy that the young lady was able to come out and follow up. One of my concerns is whether or not she was coached into saying this, whether or not she repeated it over and over, and still the expression on her face, if you look at her body language and her emoting, it just, maybe, I don't know. Because from what it is that I saw in the last video, I can imagine that a lot of people, feel relief. They're like, oh yeah, she came out and she said she's black and she's beautiful, right? I'm gonna leave it at that. It'll all work itself out. All right, listen, because believe me, I do believe that affirming is important. Going through the motions of repeating powerful and positive affirmations is important. And also digging in deep and finding that insidious little mole, like the pea in the mattress, where the princess and the pea, where that pea was sitting in there somewhere. It's like you got to clear out stuff. You have to clear it out. Otherwise it stays there as a nagging little force in the back of your mind. And it keeps coming up as negative self-talk in your mind, where it says it over and over, those insecurities in the back of your mind coming up at you, because we didn't take the time to really get to the root and clear out what may be going on underneath. This is the book that I wrote, the Book of Affirmation, Self-Love. And this is a workbook where you do write out powerful, positive affirmations, where you get a chance to go in piece by piece at the different components of what attacks our self-love and our self-worth, and get to go down deep and rewrite that subconscious programming. As a matter of fact, I would love it if someone could pass me along to the mother of the young lady. I would love to send them a book on me. I'd love to send them a book on me and just put it out there as a gift of kindness, etc. Listen, I'm going to get out of here. I feel like I've said enough. I want to hear your points of view below. Tonya TKO, and I'm out. Go out there and love one another, but most importantly, what? Love yourself. And part of loving yourself is allowing people to be themselves. We don't always have to be happy. That's toxic. It's toxic to pretend as if we always have to be one thing. We are complex human beings, and all of our emotions are all right. There's a time and place for all of our emotions, and all of our emotions have a space. And it's okay for us to work through those emotions. Loving yourself is allowing yourself to work through those emotions. That way you can understand why other people work through theirs as well. And on that note, I'm going to get out of here. Tonya TKO, and I'm out. Peace. Thank you for watching. Make sure you thumbs up the video. Make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell notifications to be notified of new videos. Leave a comment below and come over to TonyaTko.com to subscribe to my personal mailing list, send me a message, or find out more about matchmaking. I'll see you on the other side. Peace.